Hi everyone and welcome back. Now I posted the video earlier of me talking about the scrying sweater that I designed that will be out on the 1st. So it's been a couple of hours. I say a couple of hours, it's been 5 hours, a little bit less. It is really hot, so I'm recording stood up. So my name's Ellie and this is the Curio podcast. I feel like I'm dancing because I'm stood on a really squishy rug with bare feet. It's amazing. It's one of those like fake rabbit fur ones. Really deep pile. Really good. Highly recommend them. Anyway, back to it. So, this is a Curio podcast. My name's Ellie and I'm coming to you from Exeter in Devon, which is in the southwest of England. So right down near the toe of Cornwall. Yeah, it's hot, people. It's cooled down from when it was earlier. Still about 27 or 28 degrees. I have had to close the windows because it's noisy outside. I've got my lights on, so I'm cooking. So I'm just wearing a little tank top and some little, what do you call them? Shorts? Little denim shorts. Yeah. So this is the Curio podcast. Today is Thursday the 25th of June. I used to record every week. There's been a 5 or 6 month period where it's been pretty much monthly. Basically I had a massive dip in confidence, anxiety, all that jazz, poor mental health basically. In the last week or so it has got a lot better. It might be because of the sun, I don't know. A lot of things have been changing and I'm feeling more like, I wouldn't say more like myself, I'm just feeling happier and bouncier, and yeah, so I'm going to be recording every week again. But today's Thursday and I like to record on Tuesday. So, but there will be a podcast every week. Several reasons. So firstly, there is a CAL, so a knit along, but it will be a knit along, spin along, starting on the 1st of August, which if I look at the calendar is a Saturday. More about that in a bit. So normally on this podcast I talk about spinning, knitting, crocheting, sewing, sometimes a bit of cross stitch, dyeing stuff, shop talk, pattern design, all that stuff, but I'm going to be changing it around. So because I know that not all knitters like to hear about sewing, not all people that sew like to hear about spinning, etc. My neighbour's just walking down the path and I feel really self-conscious. So it will be, this part is more fibery, and then there will be a second episode that is more sewing, and that's set aside. And now my neighbour's bringing up my bin. Embarrassing. Okay, so in this podcast, I'm going to be talking about knitting and fibre and yarny stuff. So it'll also mean that there'll be 2 different types of shop updates. There'll be the yarn and fibre side, and then there'll be the project bag side. I hope you guys are okay with that. It'll mean that the videos can be shorter. You won't have to sit still for so long, especially since it's summer now and it's really itchy and you get thirsty and, you know, etc. So yes, so to crack on, this episode is just knitting. I haven't done any spinning, so there won't be any spinning talk today. So first things first, a piece of knitting from the past. So this is my Pure Joy shawl. That is by Joji Locatelli. Joji. As you can see, it's very big. It's very big. Now, you would say I would probably get a lot of wear out of this because it's purple and there's black sparkly bits and it's glistening and everything else. Don't wear it. No particular reason other than I just don't wear it. I'm not as into purple as I used to be. Now, if I put it on, see, it's a glorious shawl. And I love looking at it. It could probably do with a new blocking. it's too hot, I'm taking it off. 28 degrees C, so that's upper 80s in the Fahrenheit scale. So this purple yarn was a gradient that Penguin Knits dyed, and this lovely yarn was a gift to me from someone else who managed to get some and I didn't. And this is a Countess of Blaze colourway on the Viscount Spark. I think it's called Fake Your Death. So this was just a plain purple gradient that Ginny dyed for me for a birthday one year, and this is Fake Your Death by Countess of Blaze. Now I absolutely love this. Absolutely love this. I like the fact that it's a gradient into this beautiful edging, but I'm going to be over-dyeing it. Don't scream at me. I'm over-dyeing it with pinks. Oh, mind my pussy willow. So that I will wear it more. Yeah. So this is going to be just dyed all one pink, but it's going to be, this will be a lighter shade, and this will be as it is here, but gradiented. So that is what I'm going to be doing this week. So I'm updating my previous old knits that I don't wear because it's beautiful yarn. I want to wear it, I just don't. So I figure if I change the colour, I might. So that is the Pure Joy by Joji Locatelli. Very pretty. So I'll put that to the side. Finished objects this week. You guys have all seen, behind me here, the Scrying sweater. I did the video about it earlier on. So if you haven't seen it, go back an episode and watch it. There'll be a link at the end in the cards, you know, the bit at the end where it shows you the previous episode if you haven't watched it. All that stuff. Go and watch that. It's only about 7 minutes long and it shows you all about this. This pattern is being released on the 1st of July, which is Wednesday, next Wednesday. So 6 days time. The pattern itself goes from a 30 to a 62 inch bust. So yeah, there are 10 sizes. It's very versatile, etc. I would waffle on about it, but I did a lot of waffling about it earlier, including a bit of flash dance type thing going on. But yeah, so put that down. Right, finished object number 2. I did a test knit for Hayley, who is Locked Knits, and also off the Woolies podcast. Now I finished this, well, within a week. I just didn't get around to taking photos because the weather was bad until a couple of days ago. So this is the Mildred Shawl. Isn't it absolutely beautiful? Now I showed this to you on my last proper episode. Isn't that lovely? So I'm going to put it on because I love you. Here we go. Right. So this beauty is knit using worsted weight yarn. And oh, isn't it lovely? Now this is going to be one of my winter staples. It'll go under my coats and everything else. So in the project bag, which is from, I can't remember where, Home Row Fibre Co. Love this bag. It's one of my absolute favourites. It's gothy, but it's cute. I used Plymouth Select Worsted Merino Superwash, which is this. And I used colour 15 and colour 2. So black is 2, that one is number 15. Now, I needed to use, I wrote it on the pattern. So with the black, I used 178 grams. And the purple, I used 47 grams. So that's less than 2 skeins of the black and, well, just under half of the purple. So if I show you, I have this much purple and this much black. Now I do have enough yarn still in stash because I originally bought this yarn for a jumper to do another one the opposite way around. So I may do that. I may. However, I know I'm definitely going to knit another one in completely different colours. I'm really getting into pink, as you can see. I always used to love pink and I denied it for the whole goth thing. No, I really like the cutesy side. So, tangents. I'm going to knit another one in different colours. I got gauge according to the pattern, and I used 5mm needles. It's a phenomenally fast knit. I think in the first evening I had done, I have to take this off because I am cooking, and then I can show you it in different ways. I had done sections 1, 2, 3 and 4 just in an evening. Now, okay, so that's not actually a lot of knitting, but it's that simple to get your head around the pattern, and it's ever so pretty. And you could, in theory, keep going and just repeating these sections as long as you get your head around the maths. It's very simple maths. You could just keep going till it's as long as you like. So yes. So I took lots of photos of this the other day in the garden, so I'm going to insert a few of them here, and I'll see you in a minute. Hope you liked those photos. It's not often I get to take photos outside in nice weather, because normally it's me with my camera on my phone going, oh, can I get it in, can I get it in, sort of thing. I don't have a remote for my my Nikon camera, or Nikon, however you like to say it. So having Abby home half the week and helping me take photos has been brilliant. So we spent sort of half an hour doing photos in the garden, and yeah, those brilliant. So what am I working on now? I keep doing that, I'm so sorry. I've got 2 other projects on the needles that are not my design work. So the first ones are just some vanilla socks. If you remember last time, living in my Joji Locatelli bag, Joji and Cool, I did some little baby socks here because niece is due today. So exciting. So these are for her. So I cast on mummy socks. So these are for Charlie. And I have now gone past the heel. So it's exactly the same yarns. They'll be mummy and me socks. Aren't they just lovely? They're so bright and fluffy and colourful. Sparkly. Can you see the sparkles? Can you see the sparkles? You can see the sparkles. So I'm not doing these full length socks because I want her to be able to wear them before it's winter. It's really hot here, very hot for England for this time of year anyway. It's not normally this hot till at least, end of August. So these will be shorty socks. I'm probably just going to do about 10 rounds and then do a cuff. We'll see. But I hope to get these done this week. So yeah, this is the marker. I've started using these light bulb markers because they're easier to take on and off. There we go, light bulb marker, so that I know how many rows I've done up the leg. I do all my socks on 2.5mm needles. This is 5 Moons in the Heavens of Flame colourway. Sharon, if you're watching, correct me down below if I'm wrong. It's an old club yarn. So yes, so that is my watching telly knitting at the moment, and I'm loving it. Just having some socks to knit on. Plain socks are lovely. They give you headspace. Okay, so my other project, I cast on my computer might make weird noises because it's open. I've just put the project back on it. I have cast on, careful I don't show you the chart, the Pink Velvet by Drea Renee Knits, who's Andrea Mowry. And I've made a little bit of progress. I say a little bit, you guys haven't actually seen this yet. So this is mine. I talked to you about it last time that I was going to cast it on once I'd finished the shawl, etc. I still have to cast on the night shift shawl pattern that Angela gave me for my birthday. Angela. But this is my pink velvet so far. Isn't it pretty? So I did actually over dye the yarns. I couldn't help it. That blue was very pretty, but it wasn't purple. This is a beautiful, beautiful purple. I'm going to have to get a different light to go there so that you can see the colours properly. So this is, or was, let's get the label, wrong side, oh, project bag. Okay, so it's Malabrigo lace. The colour's kind of relevant because I dyed over it. So I am now about a third of the way through the chart. As you can see, ever so beautiful. I don't know how well you're able to see that. The lighting is completely different at this time of day because the sun's now at the back of the house, not at the front. But there you are. And I'm using my little cupcake progress keeper as my beginning of the round marker. And I've got markers for every chart repeat because I'm one of those people that, although I wouldn't or shouldn't get lost, I tend to lose concentration. And it's a lot easier to unpick, say, 6 stitches than it is to unpick half a round have gone wrong. So the purple is Malabrigo and the black is my own hand-dyed yarn, Curio yarns in Poison. Black. It's good to have good blacks. So I am knitting this using the needles it calls for on the pattern. So that is a 3.5mm and a 3.25mm. It took a struggle to try and find some though because everything's in different projects and I wasn't expecting to knit this yet. But I had to cast it on because it was my birthday present to myself. So that is all the knitting that I can show you today. There is lots of other knitting, but you'll see a lot of that happening over the next few weeks. Keep your eyes open. So the other crafting that I've been doing that's yarn related, I had some yarn left over from Neve's Christmas blanket, her crochet blanket, particularly grey. Now my middle daughter Kira, I am making her, let me just pull out of it, a blanket for her for Christmas. So I figured I better start now so I know I'll actually get it done. So Kira is having grey with white, red and black, and I'm doing it, so I just cast on 200 stitches. I say cast on, I hooked on, started with 200 stitches, and I am just doing solid trebles. So I'm not doing clusters, I am doing every stitch is a treble in every loop. So every V I put another treble in. So I did 3 rows backwards and forwards, and then I started going around the outside. So it'll stripe now when I get the other colours involved. It'll stripe, so it'll go grey, white, red, black, grey, white, red, black, out. I'm loving doing it. It's something I can do in the evenings or whenever I like. It's quite a no-brainer, as long as I don't lose the stitch. I didn't put a keeper on it, so I just made a little loop. And I am using one of the hooks that we covered after Christmas. So this is the 5mm. It's just one of those cheapy hooks. 5mm hook, worsted weight yarn. The yarn, if you're interested, is Karen Simply Soft. This one. And this is the Grey Heather colour, or Brouillard Gris. And it recommended a 5mm hook, so that's what I was going with. So this will be ready, hopefully in plenty of time for Christmas. So it's all the knitting and the crochet. There's no spinning. I've done a little bit on drop spindles, but not enough to go, ta-da! So there are no new yarn colours in the shop this week. So moving on to shop talk, I'll come back to the cowl at the end, don't worry. There are no new yarn colours in the shop this week. I've just been finishing dyeing July's lot of the Witcher Yarn Club. Now, I've taken photos of the previous few months just purely because I've not been able to podcast and show them because of everything that's going on with post and everything else. And one of my customers is in Australia. So she hasn't even got one from month 4 of the club shipments yet. So I'm getting a bit worried about Australian post. But hey, I'm trying. I'm putting them in the post. But anyway, so when I hear back from her and she says, yes, I've got them, sort of thing, then I will show you them all together. Now, what I've done is I've done the last 3 weeks again, because no one has, last 3 colours again, because no one has told me they've got them yet. So I've been a bit freaking out. So I've done them again and I've shipped them off today. So hopefully in a couple of weeks, they'll either have doubles or someone else random will have pretty yarns. But, so I can now tell you all the colourways that I did for the Witcher Club, because the first one that I'll be releasing will be in August. So in August, you'll have the ability to order Jennifer de Vengerberg, which is the, stay there, oh, which is this beauty. Ta-da. And then September, you can have the Ciri, not the Ciri, the Geralt, who's the actual Witcher. And then next month it'll be Ciri. And then the last 3, just pop those back on the shelf because that's my stuff. The last 3 is, you've got Fringilla, there's Tisaya, or Tisaya de something. And then you've got Calanthe. Now, Queen Calanthe, oh, I dyed that one and immediately I was like, I need to dye lots of this. I need a jumper out of this. But I was good and I didn't. So, those will be available as, what's written on the back of that? Nothing? Nothing important. As they become 6 months old. So I will release each colourway into the shop. Apart from that, the rest of my things in the shop, I'm going to be keeping a lot of them as pre-orders, the colourways, but I'm changing direction with regarding to my colours. So it's not all going to be dark colours, it's going to be more fun, vibrant, how I'm feeling, I guess, you know, so fun and popping and bright yarn that you look at and it makes you happy. Not just because it's new yarn, but you actually look at it and it gives you that wow feeling. So for example, with this one, which is the one I showed you earlier, which is Live Your Dreams, this beauty, I'm probably going to be using this for this Scrying jumper. Another one. See, it's just the pretty sparkle speckles on this lovely sort of aqua colour. It's so pretty. So anyway, I will discuss more about the shop stuff another time. There will be a dedicated mini episode talking about specifically shop stuff, possibly next week, so keep an eye out. Right, so that's it for shoppy stuff. There is plenty in the shop. There's lots of yarns, there's fibres, there's project bags. There will be, in a couple of weeks, just because I need to finish sewing them, some project bag yarn combos that are sold as sets. There will not be the vegan fibres. Nope. I'm not a fan of actually dyeing them. They work completely differently and they're nice, don't get me wrong, but I think for now I'm just going to play with the ones I've got for me. If at some point in the future I decide that I want all my fibre to go more in that direction, I'll let you know. So, back to the cowl. So on the 1st of August, there is going to be a 3-month knit along, spin along. I am doing it with Angela of Yarn and Yarns, so go and give her a shout. I'll link her podcast down below, and her Ravelry group and my Ravelry group, and the info thread for the cowl. So this cowl is going to be using any of my yarns or fibres or my patterns, my knitting patterns. Now there are 14 of my patterns currently on Ravelry. The Scrying sweater is coming out next week, like I said earlier. And then pretty much every week between now and, or every other week between now and sort of the end of the year, I'll be producing a new, producing is the wrong word, publishing, because they're already done, a new pattern. And like I said, for the first week that they are live on Ravelry, that pattern will be free. So you have a chance to get it for free if buying patterns are not something that you can do right now. Abby's just come home and she's looking up at me, so I shall wave if she sees me. No. She's wheeling her bike up the steps. Yeah, so they will be free for the first 7 days before they get their regular price. So if buying a pattern isn't something that you can do right now, I fully appreciate that. I'm pretty much in the same boat. I will, put it in sort of bold, a code below the podcast each week, and then on the Ravelry page itself where the patterns go, they'll be in bold, the code that you need to have it for free. So it will be just for that 1 week because I still need to make an income. I hope that's okay. So we will be doing that cowl. It is going to be from the 1st of August until the 31st of October. So it ends on Halloween. So it ends pretty much midnight on Halloween, which is really cool. If you aren't getting on well with Ravelry at the moment, because of all the graphics and things, now apparently there's been some issues, people are having epilepsy, or it's giving them headaches and migraines and things like that, but you're still able to watch the YouTube videos, email either myself or Angela. We will have our contact details in our own threads on Ravelry, but also below the videos. So if you can't get the pattern and it's within the 7 days, if you don't want to go on Ravelry, either one of us will send you a PDF. Okay? There will be prizes. We are each going to be doing our own prizes. For myself, I will be giving away a couple of patterns. There will be a prize that is a bag and yarn set. So a combination set, if you know what I mean. And then you can either choose to have as a third prize, you can either have a skein of yarn or a skein of fibre, a hank of fibre. So those are my 3 prizes. Exciting. I might add some stitch mark or something later on. It depends how well we're doing. Okay, so the third thing that you really need to know about, this is a joint cowl. So there are 2 of us running this. So there will be 2 different threads in each of our groups. In my thread, it will be the finished objects thread. So there will be a basic rule page about, what the cowl involves on mine, and then there'll be a finished objects thread. Please only post finished objects in that thread when it's opened. Any chatter needs to go in Angela's group, which is Yarn and Yarn. So she's going to have the chatter group, so that you're using both our groups and you're interacting with each other's different people, if that makes sense. And you get to know each other, and it's all about building community. So that is the cowl. I hope you're as excited as I am, and Angela is. It's very exciting for me because I'm trying desperately to get more people to see what I can do. Might sound a bit big-headed. It's not meant to be that at all. It's more come and find me. Come and try my patterns. This is why it's free each week for a bit. So yes, that is it for today for the knitting. I will come back tomorrow or the next day, Saturday maybe, to do the sewing bit, because I have lots of sewing talk. So from me to you, have a wonderful weekend or rest of week, day, morning, evening, whichever time zone you're in. And I look forward to seeing you soon.